another episode of With Our Garage. So we're gonna start on the truck here again. Breaking away from the fenders. Like I said, I want to start working on the cab. Sorry about that. Probably gonna get wind and all that stuff too. So we'll try talking louder so you can hear me. So basically, it's gonna be kind of a boring video. I want to try to get this top kind of semi-finished, even though we're kind of just jumping around, because I want to get this thing painted as fast as possible. I want to really see what it looks like when it's shined up. Still got cab corners to do, but I really want to tackle this drip rail because I don't like it. Hopefully it's not so bad. We do have some spot welding to do. Well, not spot welding, some welding to do here inside the doors. So this one here is going to kind of be like one of those, I guess, boring ones, whatever. But we'll sand this real quick. Hopefully we can get around to where we can get this grinded down on this edge, so we can kind of see what's going on with it. But let me get all the stuff ready to go, and then we'll start getting on this roof. I'm not gonna get too aggressive with it. I mean, the paint's really not that bad, even though it's just regular spray paint. You can kind of see where it's chipping and stuff like that. I just want to kind of smooth it out. I'm gonna go with 220 just to see what it looks like, and then we'll just work our way from there. Tell you what, I'm a little impatient today. That's just me. He may need a little bit more aggressive. Try to get some of this stuff out. Even if it does get a little, it's all gonna have to be primed anyway. So too much junk in the back of this truck. Here's seen better days. Been worn out. Ain't no way. And I felt some sprinkles, which means it's probably gonna rain in about 2 seconds. Awesome. It's a bit why people like wearing gloves, man. See what else I got I can use to get this crap off. Alright, so I had to go to Home Depot and get some more sandpaper. 80 grit wasn't cutting it. I actually use don't recommend this flap attack. On some of the spots right here, you can actually see where took some of it down to bare metal. You see how it's got all these cracks and all that stuff in that? I'm not really worried about that right now. I just want to kind of get this top done. The sides and everything are great. I'm probably just gonna rough this. I don't know what kind of paint I used on this last time, but I'm just gonna smooth this. Well, I'll probably just rough it up just a little bit because this is really, really straight. All this on the back's really straight. That's all straight on that side. Now this lip, we're gonna come back and I'm gonna film that. I didn't think, I should have put on time lapse and had y'all watch me do this, but I really wanna watch me sand. I'd rather have y'all watch me grind this edge. You can see I kind of got some of it right there. You see it's got like a rust lip there and a couple spots here and there. But I want to kind of have y'all watch when I do the actual lip. I'm gonna dust on this thing. Yeah, not really heavy anyway. Anyway, that being said, I need some lotion. Top's pretty much done. It's got, like I said, it's got the cracks and all the paint. Which I'm, like I said, I'm not really worried about that. I can kind of, when it's time to do the painting, I can kind of take my time and sand that. I mean, I could probably continue sanding it, but it's just gonna be that'd just be off camera. But I need to get the cab corners finished because I really want to get this thing painted and done. So I want to work on the red one. The red one is getting painted. I got the hood, the new hood in there in the sunroom. Well, actually, no, I moved out of the sunroom into the spare bedroom, spare room. Thought it was a perfect hood when I bought it from the pick apart. I paid 88 bucks for it. It was awesome. But it's got like a little wavy front end on it. But anyway, I want to get it painted too. I just don't know what color to paint that one. Either like a concrete gray, some black accents, or dark red. Who knows? Anyway, we'll come back another day, and like I said, we'll hit this edge, and I got some stuff to do in the red truck, so I'll probably be splitting it up between this truck and the red truck. So, I mean, I didn't think y'all want to watch me sand all this down. Like I said, it's going to get painted. I actually saw a rendering. I don't know if I don't think it'll show up. If I get out of the camera, it's going to cut the phone off. But maybe I'll just take a picture of it and just insert it somewhere right here, maybe. And I gotta learn how to do that. But anyway, I didn't want to have y'all just watch me sand and sand and sand. But you can see, I don't know what. I guess because it's years and years. I mean, the metal looks really good. I mean, it's got some rough spots here and there, but I mean, the metal's really nice. It's just got all this. I guess it's the old primer or whatever type of paint the person put on here before. You can really see it right there too. It's just old. It just needs to be taken off. Does it need to be taken all the way down? Probably. Am I going to do it? Just like the edges. The edges is just, all this is going to get rough sand. Rough sand, rough sand. Around the edge, rough sand. I kind of want this to be really, really good. Like I said, right up in this. Look at all this. See all this missing? Don't worry, it's gonna get fixed. See, that's why I don't like the drip rail. It's probably leaking from under this freaking drip rail and rotted all this crap out. So I'm going to pull the seat, pull the gas tank, and I'm just literally going to just cut this little edge and just slide a little piece in there. Might actually better use some of the cap corner. Anyway, I'm rambling just like Casey does. Look at all this crap. I need to get all this stuff out of this truck. But yeah, this is going to do it for today, and then we'll try to wrap it up. Work on the red truck a couple days, and then we'll get back started on that drip rail. Maybe get some, we'll do some grinding. If it's got some spots where I can just tack weld some spaces in there and grind it smooth, cool. I really don't want to go the route of JB welding it flush and smooth, because I don't like the way JB weld kind of holds up to that. Sometimes it moves and cracks because the truck's just going on flex. So I don't really want to do all that. So hopefully we can get all that done. So I'm just going to get off this camera. I'll see you in a couple days on the red one, and then a couple days after that one we'll work back on this one, and we'll continue this video. Hey everybody, so we're gonna get back on the C10 in a second, but right now everybody knows how wheels make everything look better anyway. So anyway, I decided to just, like I said, we're gonna go back and forth between vehicles, try to keep everybody entertained. I've already pulled the center caps off of these. I need on some new ones. I don't really like the way these look all like scuffed and everything, even though the truck's all, it needs to be painted and fixed and stuff like that. It's all dirty, but it needs body work, it needs to be painted. I just want to get the wheels looking better, make me feel better about myself. So all I'm gonna do is pull these beauty rings off. So if you have beauty rings and stuff like that, you don't necessarily need to paint everything. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna washing this. I got the scuff pad and everything over there. I got like degreaser and some window wash and stuff like that. I'm gonna use a brake clean just to kind of take all the oils off once I'm done cleaning. But you don't need to really get too close to the edges, because this beauty ring's gonna hide most of this. So I'm just gonna kind of just wash it all and then kind of spray it to where it's not getting on the tire, and then put the beauty ring back on, and then put the center cap back on. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all these beauty rings off, and then we'll get to washing it, and then we'll get it all set up for paint and everything like that. All right. So pretty much what I got is SOS pads with the degreaser and like a green scuff pad. So basically all I'm gonna do is just kind of scuff it up and clean it. I've painted wheels before. Like I said, these are just factory wheels. Not know if they're gonna stay on here or not. They may, but it just irks me that they're just dirty and paint's chipped off. Like I said, it was a farm truck. They literally hauled tractors and cattle, stuff like that with this truck. So she deserves a easier life. So like I said, I don't really pull much. If I need to, I can. It is the diesel. It's a 6.5. It's got enough torque to pull stuff. It's enough horsepower to pull stuff. But I'm kind of just taking it easy on it. I want it to last. I want it to enjoy its last few 100,000 miles, hopefully, that I have left in it. We'll see. Like I said, I'm just gonna use an SOS pad to kind of start it off, kind of wash it. The beauty ring's gonna hide most of this centerpiece. I don't want to get too much paint on any of this here or on the wheel. So I just want to try to scuff this stuff up. This really is time consuming, and it's not really like enjoyable to watch, but it's still content. Some people may need to know how to do all this stuff. Like I said, this is not to do a professional job. It's just to get the wheels to look nice for what they were. And when they're done, they should look pretty good. So every time I did wheels before, they came out pretty good. When I rinse it off, I'll show you what I'm talking about, where it's like imperfections and stuff. It's just time consuming. That's all it is, really. Oh, I thought I heard water running. Dang bucket. All right. Like I said, I'm gonna use brake clean. Once it starts to dry, I'm gonna use some brake clean to kind of get any of the other oils or anything off of it. So basically, I'm not gonna have y'all watch me wash every single wheel, but you kind of get the gist of it. Kind of just scuff it up, get it clean. You can kind of see the, actually I don't know if you can see on picking up. You can see the scratches from the actual like grill pad scratches here. So I'm not painting any of this on the inside. I'm not worried about this inside. I'm not even worried about this lip. All that, because all the way up to here is literally a beauty ring. So I'm just gonna spray up to this lip, tape that off. May tape that off, not sure. Just may spray it. I really don't get much paint on these threads and everything like that. But anyway, just to kind of show y'all the difference between. So, I mean, you can see how clean that one is now. Pretty much how they all start. So, anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean the rest of these and start getting them to dry. I'm gonna probably get back on the C10 until this stuff starts to dry. And once it's dried with the brake clean and stuff like that, we'll come here, we'll spray them, get them painted, and then that way y'all can see the end result while we're still working on that one, so we can get both of these videos out. Alright, so I got done with it. I put 3 coats on each wheel, so you can see they come out really, really good. I put the tire shine on it. I'm gonna end up buying some new center caps for it and some new beauty rings, because these are kind of, you can see right there, it's got the dents and stuff in it. So I'm gonna doing all that, getting new stuff there. Each wheel came out pretty much the same. It makes the truck look completely different whenever you change stuff like that. I even scratched up the exhaust, put some stainless paint on it. Get rid of that old dull aluminum look. I mean, it still looks like aluminum, but paint's supposed to be stainless. But you can't beat that. I mean, I think I spent, I bought too much paint. So technically, if you'd have bought what you're supposed to have bought with this, I think it was like $13 for the rim paint. Already had primer. Everybody's so damn loud around here. But anyway, yeah, I already had the primer. So 13 for the paint, I think 12 or 14 for the clear. I went with a matte clear because I didn't want it to be shiny. Because I'm thinking about going with that same color, or that concrete gray. It's gonna be a darker gray. So the interior is still gonna be red. I just needed a paint that's gonna match the interior. I could keep it red. I'm not really a red fan. So once I get the body work and everything done, I'm about to go to pull apart now. I would take y'all with me, but I don't have the equipment to walk with me and all that stuff. Like Puddin does, goes through all the junkyards and stuff. Which way junkyards he has, because we don't have any around here. But I'm gonna try to see if I can find a hood or anything like that in there. Any other kind of parts that I may want to take out of there. Really ain't many parts I need. If I find some stuff that I could use, I'm gonna bring back with me, and I'll show y'all tomorrow whenever I get back from my doctor's appointment. I pulled the window visors off the back. I didn't like the way they look because the windows fold out, so it made it look goofy from the front. So I just took them off and just left the front ones on, give it more of a sleek look. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do it for right now until we get back from the junkyard, see what kind of goodies I got. I wanted to get started on the truck again. We got time. We'll get started on that cab again. I already got some of it sanded and buffed it up already from the other video. So I'm gonna go run to the junkyard real quick, see what they got, and then we'll pick it up tomorrow. Welcome back, everybody. We're gonna get started back on the C10. Let me turn these lights on. A little dock in here. Oh, there. The lights going. So we're gonna continue on the 69. It's gonna be the same kind of content. or continue the content. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of just grind with the wire wheel all in here, all the way around. My little smiley face. I did hook the battery up. It does start. It does run still. I just wanted to kind of build some oil pressure in it because it's been sitting there. But I'm gonna try to grind all this down. I want to try to see how bad this stuff is. We may get into the doors a little bit. I mean, this side's not as bad. The other side's worse. Let me show y'all this. It is hot today, man. I don't know what the weather's doing. I know y'all always talk about that whenever we're on here, but you can kind of see this one here is really bad up in here, which won't be bad, I don't think, because I got the seal out. This is kind of flimsy, but it's not rusted all the way through to here. This got a little rust there. So what I may do is just take my wheel, just a little rusted here too. That's why I don't like these drip rails. So what I may do is kind of just slice this. First, I gotta get that gas thing out of here because I got the cab corners too. But we may just slice this and kind of just make a, because it's just flat. Just put a flat piece of metal here and then weld it to this new lip, or this old lip here. Just kind of cut this lip and just kind of make our own lip, kind of just fabricate our own stuff. I mean, I know the last time y'all saw me sanding all this, it was so exciting. This stuff is, the backside's really, really good, but the top, I guess it's because of the original primer that's on the top of it. It's got cracks and stuff in it. But so we may need to sand that down some more, but that's gonna be for like another time. I'm not gonna spend too much time on that because I really want to get this thing done on my welding gloves and crap. I did put a new wire on the alternator on the 94. I gotta go get a heat gun because that thing seems like it's getting hot. I didn't put a fuse in between it. I need to find out what size fuse to put in between it. I'm supposed to have a fuse in between the alternator and the battery, so it's getting kind of warm. I put a 4 gauge. It said you can, for a diesel, for a 6.5, you can put a 0 to 2 gauge wire on it, and that should be more sufficient for the, or efficient, not sufficient, but efficient for the alternator. I do notice when I start it now, diesel life, I notice when I go to start it now, it actually starts on the first try now. It doesn't just sit there and just sputter, 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 turn it off, sputter, 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 turn it off. So this is what they had in here. I'm guessing, I can see it. Look, I mean, you can see how small it is with my hand. There's the fuse right there, the inline fuse. It kind of looks like a, well, this side looks more like a, maybe like a 10. I've tried researching it on YouTube and online. I can't find a definitive answer on what wire to use. That's why I went to Google and I saw that to see if a 4 gauge would work, and they said, yeah, 4 gauge would be good, but 0 to 2 gauge would be better. So I may just buy a fuse just to put in between it, just so I have one. I just gotta figure out what size fuse to make up. I don't know what fuse to make up on it. I guess it depends on the amperage of the alternator. But anyway, it runs better now. It doesn't sputter or anything like that. But let's get started on this truck. I've been kind of losing, I hate to say, I've been kind of losing motivation. I don't know what it is, man. It's just, you get those slumps where you just kind of, you want to work and you don't want to work, and you want to work and you don't want to work. Kind of just want to go from like project to project to project, trying to go from like truck to truck. Turn y'all so you can actually look up at me. Go from like truck to truck. Like I said, we're gonna take the grinder with the wire wheel there and kind of work our way around and kind of see what we got. I'm gonna try to set y'all up. I mean, it's gonna be kind of hard for y'all to see because of the way the truck is, but I'm looking at the sky now. Almost busted my ass. Okay, looking at the cab. I'm gonna try to get y'all to where y'all can see the cab of the truck while I'm working. Let's get started and see what we got. So far, it is 100% garbage. I mean, this is really good up here, but all this is just straight ass. I mean, there's holes. There's holes every. I mean, this whole cab right here is just wide open, wide open. Got a little small hole there. This is really nice. Let me look at my step ladder real quick so I can actually step up there. I don't know if any of y'all watch the other shows. I don't know if y'all watch fellow YouTubers, but like this one may be a pole barn garage. He uses that short wire fiberglass. Never used it before. Like I said, pretty much everything I do. Look at this. Look at this. I can literally flex the cab. I'm definitely going to put a plate here, or tack weld this on the outside to where this is connected. But short wire fiberglass is kind of like a body filler type deal. This may get that. Who knows? Like I said, it's a budget build. This is not a show truck, and it's not going to be at the Barry or Jackson. So that being said, it's going to get fixed backyard style. And don't worry about the gouges in the paint, because the paint's going away. Well, we got some rain coming, y'all. I'm not gonna cut any of this. I'm just gonna let y'all follow me around and see what I'm doing. So we may get some of this all worked up and grinded out. We may start trying to do some of that short hair body filler on it tomorrow. Well, no, I got a car show tomorrow. Or Sunday. We may try to fill some of this to see how it works once I get it cleaned up. I'm about to go back and watch some of his videos. It's very educational to watch these people's videos. And if you don't remember, just go back to their videos. Pole Bar Garage. Puddin is really good. He says he's not a metal guy. I call bullshit, Puddin. I know you don't watch my videos, but bullshit. Because I've never seen anybody else build floors, patch panels. I mean, anybody as good as that. I mean, your measurements are spot on. Even when you mess up on something, you figure a way to fix it. So that's what inspires me to keep going, is them. I wish y'all could see how, I'm sorry for stopping. I wish y'all could see how thick some of this stuff was. I mean, it's thick. It's hot girl thick. That's really good. I mean, this front piece, the part I thought was going to be the worst. I mean, I got a pinhole right there, but the part I thought was going to be the worst actually ended up being, because the water sits here, it doesn't slope down. there's literally a trough where it meets. So what I may try to do is build this trough up with that fiberglass to where it kind of comes down. It's gonna be, I'm gonna sand it good. It's gonna be okay. But I want it to come up to this edge. So when it does rain, the rain just kind of flows off the truck versus sitting in the front. That's why you get all that rust. Like this side's not bad at all. All this is good up to here. Rust hole here, rust hole here. That side, driver's side, shot. All right, so just a tip on buffing. Like I said, I worked offshore for 20 years. Deckhand for probably 7 of them. They teach you how to feather paint with this. Now, is it gonna be perfect? No, but we got sandpaper. We didn't have sandpaper out there. We just used buffers. That being said, I'm gonna go up about 1 inch or 1.5 inches, maybe almost. I don't want to go too high, but I want somewhere for that fiberglass to stick to. I don't want it on paint and then it gets under the paint, gets air bubbles, moisture, whatever. I want it on the metal, to metal, that way it's gonna stick. That's why I'm gonna go around and take about 1 inch or 1.5 inches off all the way around. And then we'll just sand it. Tell you what, let's time lapse this thing. All right. So I tried to time warp. Sorry about that. For some reason, it like recorded for like 2 seconds and it shut off. Don't know what happened. But anyway, I'll show you what I did in the 2 seconds of video, I guess. So like I said, I just brought it up a little higher. You see, look at that, you can see all the rust. See how bad that is? Especially right here, you can actually see all this, look. So I'm gonna end up tack welding this. There's a little hole here. Not really much on the other side. The other side is actually pretty nice. It's got a couple pinholes here and there. Like it's this here, I'm just gonna, the back side of this is just gonna get rough sand it because this is still good. Like I said, it's not gonna be, it's gonna look good. I'm gonna stop saying it ain't good. It's gonna look good when I'm done with it. I'm gonna take pride in my work. All right, you see how I went up about 1 inch over it. I stopped here because what I plan on doing is shaping this to about, I'm gonna fill this in here though. I'm gonna try to shape this down to about right there, and then kind of just let the water just trickle down. But it's not, there ain't many holes on this side. It's mostly the holes are on the other side. So I know it ain't much for today. I'm trying to get back into it, folks. I'm sorry. I really want to get that cab corners done. maybe tomorrow we can I'm gonna try to see if I can find that fiberglass stuff today. If I can, we'll try to do some of that Sunday, because tomorrow, like I said, I got the car show tomorrow. I'd really like to record that, but I don't get many views on the car show since everybody's kind of bored. I might just do like a little sneak peek of the car show and just sneak it into this one, just kind of give y'all something to look at. You know, fundraisers, got free food out there, they have live bands, live music, stuff like that. So we do a raffle where money is donated. We do a 50-50 split of the prize money. How much donated, half goes to a person, half of it goes to donation. But 9 times out of 10, it goes to the donation. We just give the money back. Nobody ever takes the money. It goes to whatever donation we go to. We also raise money for like police departments or sheriff's departments who can't afford like vests and stuff like that. We'll actually raise money. I don't know what this year's donation thing is, what foundation we're donating to, but I'll find out and I'll let y'all know. But like I said, I'm gonna wrap it up with this. I mean, like I said, it ain't much. All we did was just grind this crap down, and y'all can see how much. I mean, it's got a pinholes here, got a couple there. The other side was like ridiculous. But like I said, I'm gonna wrap it up for today. Maybe Sunday we'll get in here bright and early and get all this stuff done and get y'all some content. What's up, everybody? So we're gonna get off that C10 for a second. My alternator seemed like it was getting hot whenever I was running it. I mean, it's 124 right now, but even then it's within temperature. But I've talked to some people and they said I need to change this 4 gauge to a 2 or a 1. So that's what we're gonna do today. So a lot of people recommend, and I recommend it too, I'm just gonna take everything apart. All the positive sides off, all the negatives are gonna be disconnected. Everything's no power to this, so you don't short anything, pop any fuses, and shock the shit out yourself. So we're going to start taking all this stuff apart. Just be careful so you don't arc it. And you notice I put marine terminals on it with the brass. I kind of like them. Not to make them look fancy or anything. I like the way they have everything set up on them to where I can actually use them for all these extra wires that are on it. And no matter what terminal you buy, it just seems like those freaking square heads suck, dude. Because they always twist, no matter what you do. So I got a 12 millimeter to hold a square on the side, just so I can get it loose to pop it off. I also bought a, I'll show you in a minute once I get all this stuff disconnected. I bought a inline fuse, or a battery terminal fuse. It asks for a, depending on what size alternator you have. I have a factory alternator on this one, so I went with the factory optioned fuse, which calls for a 125 amp. That's pretty safe. They say anywhere between 120 and 140, depending on what type of size alternator you have. So we're just gonna take all this crap off. Just be careful when you take all this stuff so you don't arc anything, blow fuses, then you be chasing other gremlins down. But like I said, I like to take everything off. Everything's gonna come off, all the negatives. For some reason, this one is the only one that gives me problems putting it on the battery. I don't know why, but it does. And plus I like these little twists, little shit, what you call them, wing nuts. I like these. It's pretty cool. And that's gonna turn on me, ain't it? Why wouldn't it? Because you're a piece of shit. Sorry about the cursing. Sailor's mount comes with the territory. Don't like it? Ain't the channel for you then. So I'm gonna take all this off. Move that out the way. I'm gonna put the wash. I put a brass washer because everything's brass. I put brass washers on everything else, kind of with spacers and stuff like that. This is the fuse I was talking about. So on this one, you can see I already got the note on this one. So this is just gonna basically bolt like this. Let me just take that wing nut off. Basically it's gonna go on like that. And then I'm gonna run the new wire from this to that, and it's gonna run to the alternator. So one side has a 125 and the other one has a one has a 125 amp, which is not the one that it's called for the alternator. And then this one is actually a 250. I don't know. I'd have to research that, see why anyone would need 250 amps fuse for something. But I don't know what size that was. I don't remember what size this was. I had to fight this stupid rubber boot on here. It's gonna be tiny. I don't think it's gonna be smaller than a. I think I used a crescent wrench last time. Yeah, let me get my crescent wrench. That'll be a 10 millimeter. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't freaking so. So the nut on the back of the alternator is 10 millimeter. The nut that goes on the fuse is a 10 millimeter. Or you can use any size. I just grabbed the 10 millimeter because that's what fit the best. And you can see I stacked washers back here, not for spacers. It was just to make sure that I was getting some type of connection. All right. And always put your nuts and all back where you got them from. That way you don't lose anything. Just give me a second. What's that? Okay. So this wire, all I had was a 25-inch. So all I did was I had a battery terminal here. So what I did is I cut half the battery terminal off. That way, it actually, I know it seems kind of childish to do this way, but as you can see, if you follow my logic, it actually fits there pretty snug. So I'm gonna get this installed and ready to go. All right, so it ain't the nicest looking, but it's on there. Got some electrical tape on there. There's nothing really metal here for it to touch, but I don't want it to grab anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this back on the alternator so I can get all that stuff put back together. I'm gonna put my washers back on, even though it really doesn't need it, but I like to have it on there anyway. And this is gonna be a 2-gauge wire. Actually, the washer's gonna help out because the hole is a lot bigger than the last one. I don't feel like having it freaking fall off. I'm gonna try to get it to where it droops down. Grab my ratchet. I want it to kind of droop down because I have a lot more wire. I guess I could. Tell you what, let's electrical tape that too. I don't like having that exposed so much right next to that alternator. I don't want them to arc off the base, so I'm just gonna wrap it real quick. Don't necessarily need to do this, but I don't trust it being that close. And this is not a show truck. This is my daily driver, so it is what it is. And we might be putting a video out after this. I think I might hold off on the whole doing the fiberglass stuff until another video. That way we can kind of go back to back with videos, because I want to get that gas tank emptied. So we may do like the emptying of the gas tank and the lifting of the bed. That way we start doing all the body work at one time. Like I said, I want to kind of get this down like this. Not necessarily that I need it down like that, but all that extra slack, instead of it being raised up and looking like crap, we can just get it out the way. Try not to over torque your boat. That way you don't snap it. Usually when somebody says that, boop, it happens. Anyway, now it's just a task of putting everything back together and figure out which one you want where. Sorry about that. My buddy Bennett trying to call. Everybody trying to call when I'm never doing anything. Nobody calls. But man, as soon as I get done, start doing something, everybody and their grandma has got to make a phone call. Like I said, it's not necessarily going to look pretty. I wish I could kind of fit all those together. I guess I could put it underneath and then put that on top. Let's do it that way. Use that fuse as a washer. I don't even know if it's gonna all fit. I'm not even get a washer on there. Too much stuff on it. Let's see. It started. Will that bolt spin in there? Yeah, I think it will. What size is that? Oh yeah. Tell me I can't get a. Let me see if I can get a bolt in there. Let's see. It's always something to hold you back. Shit, first try. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll put that on there. I should put that on there. Yep. So that's gonna be should be about oh man, I mentioned it's a pain in the butt. I don't like the way that sits. Well, we are enjoying this crap. It's so much fun. I don't know who the fuck ordered this up. That's what's his ass. That's an issue. I'm sure there's wires plugging together. Call it a day. That's on there. Is it fancy? Nope. Do I give a shit? Nope. Alright, so now it's just putting shit back together. Let's see how terrible it is. I mean, it looks factory. Is it? Nope. So it's gonna make a difference, hopefully. Where's do 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 do. Half inch. Half inch. Alrighty. One positive side. And let's see if it pops the fuse. I probably won't pop it until I start it, but I mean, it looks kind of iffy. I just don't even clear the freaking hood. Oh yeah, more than enough room. More than enough room. Millimeter over here. Moving the wrench. Anyway, it's tight. That's tight. 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 All right. So let's try to crank it, see what happens. See if it actually blows a fuse or not. Dropping my brick all over the place. Wow, that was quick. It literally took like 2 seconds for the glow plugs to go off. I did this earlier. I don't know why. It's like finicky. Oh, try this. It acts like the battery dead. Like, I don't understand. Like something. I guess something's draining the battery. Did it pop the fuse? Do y'all know if it popped it or not? It's on me. .6. .6. Where's your deal? It's charging. They just need to charge back up. And these are the correct batteries, so nothing's changed with the batteries. I took the other batteries off and put these on, so the other battery was the wrong size. Wires are definitely hot to the starter. Fuse is working. Way under. I might have just left that damn forward. 1324. Charging the 14 4 gauge on it. say, since I changed the wires, that AC compressor's been running better. It actually stays on. $13.38. Charging. Start running high. Well, I'm just trying to understand how it charged better. Is that fuse regulating how much voltage is going through from the alternator? I don't know. It just seemed to be charging a lot better with the 14 gauge than it does with the, the 4 gauge than the 2. It said it's safer 4 to 2. Which, I just wish it was running a little, I just wish it was charging just a little bit more, because it was in the 14s before. Now it's kind of 13.25. But that being said, that's going to be it for this episode of What Now Garage. Like I said, next time we'll get on emptying the gas tank, pulling the bed out, the seat out, so we can do some welding on the inside of the cab. We're going to lift the bed up and start working on those cap on, start getting this thing ready for paint. Hopefully about 2 more episodes we'll get this thing ready for paint, and then we'll start painting it, and then we'll hopefully get that exhaust leak fixed with some more gaskets. But we'll see. But like I said, always like, subscribe, leave comments, also share for What Now Garage. We'll see y'all next time.